Hello, everybody. It's Joan again, and you're probably wondering what's up with the hat and sunglasses and all that. Me for sure, are tired of being isolated and could not go anywhere. And of course, you got the cold weather. Well, it's not so bad. Snow and ice and everything outside. So I decided to do something about it. I'm gonna put on my hat, my sunglasses. I got my nice orange juice with strawberry and of course the umbrella. I'm gonna be thinking about sun, the beach, and water and everything nice. So we are going to be painting this. So we're not really going to the beach. We're just gonna be thinking about it. And hopefully we'll be inspired and feel uplifted and joyful about it. So before I go further, this is what we're going to be painting, by the way. But I wanted to show you what I have done few weeks ago. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago we talked about diamond painting, right? I have finished my painting. So here it is. I found a few frames on Facebook Market, so I was able to buy them for $10 or $15 each frame. And I just take out the people that came with it and put on mine. So here you are. Need a lot of patience. All right. Before I go any further, we have John to read our devotional for today and pray for us. And I'm going to take off my hat, my sunglasses, and put on my regular reading glasses. There you go. Now I can see you. All right. Thank you.
Good job, darling. I just want to say how fortunate I am to have had Joan come into my life. I am extremely thankful. She just brings all that joy and brightness into my life that she obviously is sharing with you all, and just express my thanks for her. You know, I'm particularly blessed when it comes to sand and beach and that type of thing. It wasn't Seashore, but my great uncle was the owner of the Sandbanks Provincial Park. And so we used to spend weeks there while he owned it. Later on, he was forced to sell it to the government, and they turned it into Provincial Park. But just the joy of waking up in the morning and you hear this roar, and you don't know whether it's the wind in the poplar trees, because there's certain type of trees there that have these leaves on them that shimmer and touch each other when the wind blows. So they kind of made this roaring sound. And you'd wake up and you'd tap your sibling and you say, let's go down to the beach. And you run down to the beach. And sure enough, it was the wind in the trees, but there was also these huge, beautiful waves just crashing on the beach. So the length of beach he owned was probably at least half a mile long. So we would run along the water as it was coming up the beach. We would run away and then run back down. And it was really just extremely ideal for kids to enjoy themselves. So I was no stranger to the blessing of being near the beach when I was a kid. Now, the devotionals we picked, unfortunately, I almost had no time to review them because we couldn't print them properly and we had a few snags. But I'll try to read you some of what I found that was a little bit interesting here. And pertaining to I've also picked a few verses that I thought might be a blessing and you might enjoy. So here, this lady Miriam Drennan, she is saying, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as a spokesperson to the world. That's Jeremiah 1:5. Have you ever looked at photographs of individual grains of sand blown up 250 times? And I took the time to do that. I was looking at not one grain of sand on its own, but many, and as she goes on to say, some of the grains of sand look red and glossy like stones. Others look like icicles. Some resemble speckled yellow and brown eggs, and still others seem to be shaped like corn cobs, snowflakes, and precious gems. Some grains are square, some are spherical, some are flat. No two grains are the same. In fact, you'll know that when you're looking at them, when you're looking at these microscopic pictures, you wouldn't know you were looking at sand unless someone told you. So the next time you rub your toes in the warm sand, think about how each and every tiny grain is unique in shape, depth, and color, texture. So God created each and every one of this infinite variety of grains. Since God shows off his ability in tiny bits of sand, think about what he has done and can do and will do for his crown of his creation, is mankind. References to sand in other scriptures. Here in the book of Kings, 1 Kings 4:20. Judah and Israel were as numerous as the sand that is at the seashore in abundance. Now God gave Solomon wisdom that was very great in discernment, breadth of mind, like the sand that is at the seashore. So the seashore is mentioned twice in that one verse. Standing on the beach, we see in every direction, looking down, each grain seems immeasurably tiny. Just a handful, you could hold hundreds or perhaps thousands. Pondering the expanse of the beach and the volume of the sand at the sea is beyond counting. Recently, researchers at the University of Hawaii actually did a calculation, and they came up with an estimate that on the Earth, there's 7 quadrillion grains of sand, roughly. Each quadrillion would be represented by a 1 with 18 zeros after it. But really, God uses the sand at the seashore to sort of reference to us the abundance of his blessing and his love to us. And as he did to Abraham, he said, as the sand at the seashore, I will multiply your descendants and so on. So that was one thing. But I have found a scripture in Psalms 139, and starting at verse 13 down to verse 18. Verse 18 talks about sand. But just let this wash over you. I can remember being at the beach. It was so hot that you couldn't sunbathe just on the beach. You'd have to go in the water every once in a while to cool off. I'm sure many of you that grew up in the islands or wherever know what I mean. But it was a way to beat that. You lay down right in the water and just let the water gently wash up onto you as each wave comes and recedes again. And it's a very peaceful experience, which I have done. So Psalm 139, verse 13 down to 18. I will read. Just let these scriptures, which I think are sort of positive and sweet, let them just wash over your soul. Let them wash over your mind. Please forgive any of the jerkiness of my reading, but that's all I got. For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. Talking about protection, covering. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. We quote that a lot as Christians, but don't ever forget it, that you were intentionally made and designed by God to be as you are. Yes, all of us have been messed with by the devil sort of throwing a wrench into the machinery, but the original intent and the stamp of God was on that thing that he made. So don't ever despise yourself or agree with the devil when he tells you something terrible about yourself. He only deals in half-truths anyway. Okay, back to the scripture, John. You're chatting too much. I will praise you, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, including grains of sand, waves, beaches, and you. So never be critical of yourself, because the Bible clearly says, do not criticize God's word. And, okay, marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. So you need to know it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance being yet unformed, and in your book they were all written, the days fashioned for me, when there were yet none of them. In other words, God saw all your days, and even before any of the days had passed. Now listen to this. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. I'll read that again. How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How great is the sum of them. If I should count them, they would be more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. When I awake, Lord, I am still with you. Think about Jesus being asleep in the ship, in the boat, when everybody was in a state of catastrophe, and they finally come to Jesus and they wake him up. And there he was at perfect peace, knowing that his Father was still with him. And we should always encourage that fanning of the Holy Spirit within ourselves. I've had friends through the years of my endeavor to live the Christian life that would say to me, don't ever listen to the devil's ministry to you. And if they would hear me say something negative about myself, they would say, don't do that. Hear what the Spirit of God is saying to you. Fan the flame of what the Lord himself is trying to say. So anyway, here we are. We're made in the image of the Creator. So in a way, each and every one of you is little creators. You're going to create a beautiful painting today. So I just ask the Holy Spirit of God to just breathe on your spirit, breathe on your soul, breathe on your mind, and relax you and bring you peace and calm, and that you might be able to paint and create with His help, His care, and His guidance. I pray, dear Lord, for your rich, rich blessing to be on every soul that is watching this painting lesson. So bless you, Joan, and bless you all, and thank you for the privilege of sharing. Oops, sorry for the noise. That's my fault. Closing the dresser. All righty. Have a good day. There you go, Jarvis.
Just listen to that. hours. John is just so wonderfully blessed. Thank you, John. And
You're so welcome, Vernon.
he said that so wonderfully and read the message and the word to us so beautifully. And I do hope that it stays in our hearts, not just while we're painting now, but all the time. Okay? All right, let's have a drink. I hope you have a drink too with the umbrella. Right. So we're gonna try and do this painting. Um, so we are recording just for the benefit of those that are watching that is new. My name is Joan, and I am from the Lakeside Church, Toronto. And unfortunately, we don't have in person. Join us every Sunday at 10:30 in the morning. And we also have prayer meetings on Facebook every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, right? So those are things that we could do while we're on lockdown or where we're restricted. And this. So I'm using a 16 by 20 canvas. You can do any size that you want. I have my brushes, my water, my paint. And the paint that I'm using is blue. In this case, it's phthalo blue. It's phthalo blue. And this is turquoise. I have a little bit of black, a little bit of green, that's splashed, brown. And I have two shades of yellow, but it's not necessary. And just a tiny bit of orange just to give interest. And of course, white. All right. So I have marked my canvas right just above the the middle. So that's where my horizon is going to be. All right. So what I do, I just take big gob of blue and we'll and if you have any questions, by all means, post it on YouTube. I can see that right away and I can answer it right away. Nicole would be monitoring our WhatsApp, and I can also see messages on my Facebook. And then when we're done, we're also going to post this on TLC Facebook. So about an inch and a half of just blue. And then as we go further down, we'll take a little bit of white. You just blend that with your blue. I like painting on the sides of my canvas. Give it a finished edge, finished look. Just doing what. So as you go down, further down into the horizon, use more white. Okay. And just Go back and forth, back and forth. All right. So because I laid this paint thick, stop, right? Maybe I should go down a little bit further. I laid it thick. I'll wait for it to dry a little bit before we paint the clouds. Okay, we won't do a lot of clouds, just a tiny bit. Okay, now I got a message earlier today. Auntie Shirley Ann is packing up her picnic bag. I wonder what's in the picnic bag. When you finish your painting, let's have a little fun. Take a picture of yourself with your hat if you have one, with your painting, sunglasses, and your drink if there's any left. Then send the picture to us, okay? All right, so I'm just going just below my mark. Where did my mark go? My mark is right over there. I'm just going right below that, okay? All right. Now, the horizon is over here, and I think I lost my mark. Here's what I did. Just used my long uh, handle brush. There you go. So my mark is right about there. Mm, might be easier if you just use a ruler. All right. So we're gonna blob of paint, load up our brush with blue. I'm gonna try and do this in one stroke. I'm gonna try. If you want, you can use a tape and make your line straight, but it doesn't have to be straight, really. Boom. Try it again. Right? Without brushing our no, without rinsing our brush. Oh my goodness! All this beach talk and a lot of sun and water. I'm running out of English. All right, so we load it up with our turquoise. We're gonna brush heavy. And just underneath that blue horizon. Okay. And we'll take that. Yeah. We're sort of mixing, not blending. We're just sort of giving our horizon the dark blue and our ocean turquoise color. All right? Everybody with me? Again, if there's any question, ask. Oh, I see Naomi got sunglasses. Well, I have to take off sunglasses. I can't see otherwise. All right. So now as we go down, we'll mix a little bit of white in our brush. You notice I haven't washed my brush. Mixture of the paint in there is perfect. It's what we need. See how that is so pretty? So I'm just doing what turquoise, white, loaded on my brush. That not mixing. And what we're doing here is just blocking our canvas. So I don't know whereabouts the rest of you are, but in Toronto or Ontario, our restrictions are starting to get lifted. So I am happy about that. I am incredibly anxious to see my friends, to be able to go to church, to hopefully go back to work. They would call me soon. And yeah, and be out and about. Right? Right? And turquoise. Take it all the way to here. I love this color. So pretty. Like to go on a vacation soon where I would see this color. Go to Dominica, Nicole, Jamaica, Christine. Where else? Mexico, Philippines. All right. Have some friends at the Dominican Republic. Go visit them. I'm just leaving this white because it's going to be sand anyway. So this is what we're going for, okay? So when you're done blocking your colors, make sure you go from side to side to take off any edges of your brush, okay? So you don't have a flat edge like that. So take it from side to side, all the way to the end of the canvas. All right? There you go. There's our ocean. So I'm going to rinse my brush now. And we're going to put down our sand. When you rinse your brush, dab it on a piece of paper towel, so you're not overloaded with water. Okay? So we'll just go get our white, our yellow, just tiny bit of yellow, okay? And just a touch of orange. So we'll create sort of a peach look, peach color. So white, touch of yellow, and a touch of orange. So in this ocean, we'll have a little sandbar starting right about here. And I will stop right about here. Good. Looks good. And I think my sand will go all the way to here. Just sort of marking where my sand is going to be. And I'm going to stop right there. By the time we finish this, our sky would be drier. And go back to it and do a little bit of cleanse. Can't be at the beach without some, right? Great. Drink. Having fun with this thing. So, gonna use my round brush to form little bits of clouds. We'll go across a little bit, down, and then a little bit over that way. So we're gonna do our little where do I do it? Just here. I have my damp brush, round brush, stiff brush, and I just picked up some white and a teeny tiny bit of blue. Just you could hardly see the blue. It's almost all white. Love the drink, yeah. I love it too. Hope you all have drinks too. Just dab, 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 dab. Turn your brush. Go up a little bit. Just very, very lightly, okay? Then we'll come back to it when it's a little drier. We'll have little wisps of clouds right here in the middle. Little wisps. And let's try the other side. And we'll go starting from here. Dab, dab, dab. You notice I'm turning my brush as I'm dabbing. And just very lightly, okay? Just whisper of cloud. Whispers. There you are. Very, very light. And we'll come back to that a little later on. Just to give it highlights, okay? So let's define our little island. I'll use the same brush. Same brush. I'm going to take some green and some black. 50-50 mix. So I already have a dark green. I'm not using a bright green, okay? Thank you for the clouds. All right. So black and green, not just black. We're gonna I'm gonna hold my brush like that. I'm gonna have some bushes right about here. Not a straight line, okay? Black and green. And we'll take it all the way to here. And we'll skip a little bit. So there. Looks like a dinosaur. All right. So we'll leave that for now. Time to have some fun. So in my messages on WhatsApp, I mentioned this little tool, the palette knife. There's different kinds of palette knives, and thought we'd give it a try this time. So if you don't have a palette knife, the back of a spoon, this I don't recommend your dinner spoon. Plastic spoon will work just the same. Okay, so we're gonna pick up our white. I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna go on this side, and I'm gonna pick up some brown. Oops. Okay, so white and brown. I'm not mixing it. I'm not blending it. I'm just sort of caramelizing it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Look, can you see the back of my palette knife? Black and white. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna dab, 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 dab. This area here that we marked beige earlier. So what we're doing here is we're giving our sand some character. Okay, so you can make it dark where you want it dark, and you can make it light where you want it light. There you go. Need more white. So it will give your painting some texture, different from the ones that we have done before. And even if it goes into the water, actually, you want it to go into the water, it's okay. We get some more white, okay? See how this back of the spoon would fare. Just experimenting. Oh yeah, it works. White, brown. There you go. It works, folks. I'm gonna go back to my palette knife. Oh, make sure that I do the bottom as well. All right. Isn't that cool? I am going to extend that just below our bushes here. When I'm at the water, I'm going to do it a little differently, okay? I'm going to just pull it to a line. There. Same things. Water. There you go. That little island has a little beach. You can also use the brush doing this, okay? Flat brush. Better. And I'm going to give it a little bit of tap. Right, so my sand goes all the way out here, past the bushes, okay? Oh, here. Now, are you ready to create some waves? Or let me just clean this. Oh, my same brush. I'm going to be using the same brush that I use, white brush that is, but it's the flat brush. If it has an edge, that would be best. So when you see it's got a sharp edge at the tip, that'll be the best thing for this. So what we'll be doing is we're going to be doing little waves. So the way I did it is just little back and forth smiley faces, okay? So just smiley faces. White and just a tiny bit of turquoise blue. Mix it up. And if there's too much paint on your brush, just wipe it off your paper towel. So just go back and forth. If it's too white, get a little bit more turquoise. And back and forth. You just have to be patient with this. Just a tiny bit. Okay, just a tiny curl is what you're going to do. Don't make it too white, okay? It's just turquoise color. I'll give you the illusion of little waves. I just did it. I love the ocean. I even went snorkeling in Florida. Now, mind you, I came from the islands. I do not know how to swim. And funny thing is, apparently a lot of islanders doesn't know how to swim either. I want to be at that beach. Yes. Yeah, me too. But for now, we'll just paint. We'll just paint it and look at it every day until we can go and fly. Okay, so you can barely see it, but it's there and it's so relaxing. It's very gentle waves. So you see my motions are just very tiny motion. I'm just creating little waves here and there. Now as we go further along though, it'll just go straight, okay? I'll give you a little bit of line there. All right. Think you like this beach now? Wait till we get our coconuts in. Our coconut trees. All right. So you can continue doing this and create more waves. Gentle, relaxing waves. Just don't fall asleep as you do it. Okay. Good. So now we're going to the beach. Got our sand. And when we have waves, we have some, what do you call that? Foam, right? What we do, so the same brush, haven't rinsed it yet, we just dab it against the white so that there's a lot of white paint on the tip of our brush. Okay. We will just work that in. A bit. Work it in. Go. Bring it in. Bring it in. Okay. Not everywhere would have foam. Okay, so just the edges. The thicker the paint at the edge of your brush, the better. Okay, so that's how you do your foam. All right, now we have the foam there. I'm gonna wipe my brush, and the same colors that I use for waves, I'm gonna bring that into our foam. Your brush becomes too white, just pick up some more of that turquoise blue. Okay, so bring it in. Blue and the white. We're making waves here. Maybe in this area we need a little bit more water coming in. All right, so I'm just putting it in lightly, okay? Just gently caressing my canvas. All right. Back and forth, making little curls. Okay? I think my sand is done. Now I'm gonna go with our coconut tree. So here we will need our uh, tiny brush. Okay? It's not really the liner brush, but the tiniest brush you've got. This is how tiny this is. It's tiny. We just got wet. And we're gonna go back to the black and green mixture that we had earlier. Get that wet. And ready for your coconut trees. All right. Tropics, here we come. I think I am going to put my coconut trees right about here. One here. I need my glasses. Sorry. Need some quiet chair. Still wet. You know me with wiggly lines. We're best friends. I can never do a straight line. All right, so there's one. Remember when you're doing trees, the bottom needs to be a little bit wider, okay? So we'll have this one slightly leaning. We have one that's straight up. This one stands straight and tall. And we'll have a sister right about here that's leaning a little bit. And let's see. Maybe we'll do 5 for coconut trees. This one also is straight. Okay, don't make them the same length, okay? Some are tall, some are short, some are leaning, some are straight up. And I'll have another one, sort of like that. Hey, this other guy fell, leaning too far, or about to fall. All right, so widen the bottom. While we let that dry, we're gonna go back to this section. So we're gonna have yellow, as a yellow, and a little bit of green, and a touch of white to make it bright. Hey, that rhymed. We're gonna put this on top of our dark green, okay? And don't forget, don't kill the dark areas. That gives your painting character and dimension. So you see, I skipped that area. Go up. Dab, 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 dab. Green, white, yellow. Oh, the brighter the better. That off. And we're gonna give this area a little bit of yellows. Yellow and white and green. All right. Some grass is growing there. Pull it just here and there. Done. I'm gonna brighten this up a little bit. Oh, all right. So you're ready to do your leaves. Okay, what I used for my leaves, you have an option. You can use your fan brush. Okay, this is a tiny fan brush, or just a straight edge small brush. Okay, but this particular one I picked up is in an angle. Oh well. Then what? So the same color that we used, black and green, we're gonna give it some branches or the spine of our coconut tree. We'll have one that goes down. Okay, so as you go down, pull it, pull it. As I pull, I'm lifting. Okay. Go. That was the dark and the green. The black and the green. We're doing dark colors right now on this tree. Oh, all right, so that's one tree. Next tree. It's actually great if you could make them overlap. That way it'll give the illusion of fullness. Stroke it, give it some leaves. Oh, another one. And we'll have some leaves, coconut leaves that are sort of falling on the side here. All right. How are we doing with our coconut trees? Make your spine of your tree. You can maybe, I don't know, maybe you can do 8, 6. I don't really count. I'm just playing with each one. Just have to be a little patient. And what I find that if you hold your brush light, your leaves would be better. And some of the branches are falling. One more. Then we're going to give these trees some highlights. Just hold your brush light, okay? All right, so I'm gonna rinse my brush, right? And the mixture of yellow and green that we had earlier, we're gonna pick up some of that dark color. We're gonna have some white and some brown. What we're doing is we're gonna create the dead um, highlights of the dead branches. So that'll go over the leaves that have fallen on the side of our tree. Okay, so just very lightly touch it, very lightly. So if you could just think of how a coconut tree looks like, they often have some branches that are falling on the side. You remember? Hope you remember what they look like. It's been so long. Okay, so you just stroke lightly. I just highlighted like a couple. So now that's done. This same mixture, we're gonna make it lighter. We're gonna put in a little bit more yellow. Oh, come on, yellow. Trying to dry up on me. And white. Much paint on my brush. Okay, so the yellow, we have made this mixture lighter. Yellow and the white and that sort of greenish brownish mixture. We're gonna highlight each of our leaves, okay? Well, actually, no, don't highlight each. Just a few of them in each tree. And just very lightly touch them. Touch and pull. Touch and just remember which tree you're working on so it doesn't look like it's all a mismatch. So work on one tree at a time. So from that, working on this tree. And if you may make a mistake, no, a happy accident, you're always you can always repair it by putting in more of the dark mixture of the green and black, and just go over it again, and then highlight it again after. This tree now. All right. Okay. And same mixture. I'm gonna mix a little bit of uh, highlight for our trunks too. So just the brown and the white on the side here. I'm just gonna touch each trunk a little bit. Okay. Just here and there. Not the whole trunk, but just to make it like a real tree. All right? All right. There's our tree. Ready for the last tree? Okay. So the same mixture, black and green. This is your bravery test now, okay? Ready? Ready? Whenever I get my grandson to walk, he's starting to learn to walk now. I go, ready? All right, ready? I'm going to go over here, about 3/4 down, all the way to here, okay? Maybe above the horizon. That's at about the horizon. So we're making another tree. My sand is still wet. Remember, the bottom is wider, okay? Yo, maybe I'll make it wider. A little bit more. Right? We'll have our, I don't know. Have one branch going this way, another branch going this way, and maybe another branch going that way. That way. There you go. So green and black. Pull it and touch and pull. If you find that your brush is too dry, just dip it in the water, work your paint. It will be easier to do the leaves. Your brush is slightly bent. There you go. Okay? Leaves are almost never the same, so in length, that is. Oh, tell me how your paintings are going. Oh, I'll make one more at the top there. Forget to breathe. We're at the beach. Can you hear the water coming and going? Go. All right. Now we're gonna highlight our. I just gave it a little bit of orange, just a touch, yellow and white. Oh, I'm gonna do the brown first. Hold on. So this is the leaf, ready to fall. Sometime in the summer, right? And hopefully we would see it. All right, so now we're gonna go to the upper leaves. That will be a slightly um, brighter. Add more white. This time, because this tree is closer, we're gonna highlight all the leaves, okay? Now remember, don't cover the entire leaf, okay? You're just highlighting. Flick, flick, flick. much. All right. And if you want to put some coconut in the middle, go for it. So I'm gonna, in the other painting, I forgot to put some coconut. And then my son-in-law said, "Oh, mommy, where are the coconuts?" Okay, so a little bit here, there. Coconut tree is not complete without some coconuts, right? Okay. The same flat brush as what we did here. We're gonna highlight our trunk, and then our painting is done. So that is actually just brown, black, and white, just marbleized, not mixed. And we're gonna go this side. Still too wet. I might need to come back to it later on to define it. I'm gonna go to the other side. There you go. Ta-da! So that is our painting of the day. I do hope, yes, we're supposed to say it's dreamy. Oh yes, Christine, yes, it's dreamy. I hope you guys didn't fall asleep. But yes, I love this painting, and I do hope that you enjoyed painting with me today. Um, and take a picture with you holding it, with your drink, a hat, and sunglasses, maybe. And maybe we'll make an album. You know, Naomi's incredible in doing these videos, and maybe we'll do one. All right. So that is it for today, and I hope to see you soon. And that'll be for another painting. Okay. Enjoy and have a wonderfully blessed day. Right now in Toronto, it's bright and sunny, so I'm gonna go out for a walk later on. And even though it's cold, I'll think about this beach. All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye for now.